Hey everybody, it's Meet Cara night. Tonight we have a special treat for you. You are getting to meet Cara, who is an incredible mom of three and a member of the neighborhood and my friend. And she is just super fun and so much fun to talk to. And tonight you're going to get to meet her. So we are so excited. Evie is here. If you come on and you are here to learn a little bit about Cara, or you want to write a comment in the chat, tell us hello, tell us you're here. We want to say hi to you. I'm Sarah. I'm one half of Evie and Sarah, and we are the community builders of something called the neighborhood, which is an amazing community for moms and dads and caregivers of children between the ages of 2 and 7 years old. But it's not just any parenting community. It is not a parenting class. It is a place where we can be ourselves, or we can learn about child development and brain science and some really amazing parenting strategies. But it's also a place where we can grow as parents so that we can have a calmer and more fun parenting journey. So we teach and experience parenting in the neighborhood through the positive parenting philosophy, which is a type of parenting. And we also do it through a framework that Evie and I created that you will not find anywhere else, called the Solar System Parenting Framework. The Solar System Parenting Framework identifies you as a fireball parent, a crescent parent, or a constellation parent, and that informs every decision that you make as a parent and helps you develop your superpowers and celebrate those and teach those superpowers to other parents. And it also helps you to look at your challenges and figure out what those challenges are. So Cara is here and she's going to come on and we're going to get to meet her. And I'm so excited. I've known Cara for quite a while and she's been a member of the neighborhood for quite a while. And so I'm going to just hope, I know that this might be her first time jumping on a live. So Cara, you might see like a join button, and then you can press that, and then I'll see it from over here, and I can let you in so that we can share the screen and talk. So when she's ready, we'll get her in here. But as I was saying, you get a chance to celebrate your superpowers because we all have them. But crescents have specific superpowers, fireballs have specific superpowers, and constellations should have specific superpowers. I think, Cara, it should pop up for you where it says ask to join video. It should come up for you. If it doesn't, then we may have a little bit of an issue, but we'll try. We'll see. Evie, if you have any suggestions for her, maybe you can help her too through the chat. Okay, so when you come on the neighborhood, we ask you to take our quiz, evieandsarah.com/quiz. And you decide that's how you figure out. Are you a crescent? Are you a fireball? Are you a constellation parent? Some people might say, well, I'm a little bit of both. I'm a little bit of all three. And we say, yeah, that's great. Of course you are. Like, it's very rare to find somebody who's 100% one or 100% the other. We're just not that way, right? So we kind of figure out where your balance is. A lot of people might say like, well, I feel like I'm pretty crescenty. Like I'm a pretty big crescent, but I do see that I kind of create some of these fireball things over here too. So what we do is okay, here we go. Yeah. So what we do is teach you through that lens. So teach you through the positive parenting lens, but also through the framework of crescent, fireball, and constellation. But here's Cara. Yay! Hello, how are you tonight?
Hi, I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm so happy that it worked, because you never know with the live. With the technology, but you're here, so yay. Okay, so Cara, yay. All right, this live is gonna be about 15 or 20 minutes. So if you are jumping on right now, say hello. Anybody, just join in the chat. Evie's in the chat too, so she can chat with you. And then Cara and I are going to talk a little bit, and you are welcome to ask Cara some questions or ask me some questions. I can read the chat. Evie can read the chat. So we're just going to go for it. And Cara, how long have you been with us in the neighborhood?
4 months, 5 months?
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Yeah.
And okay. And tell us, can you share like because the neighborhood we have one or two, it depends on the month really, live sessions a week. So one session that's live is 1 hour, and then another session that's live is 30 minutes. Some people come to the live sessions and some people prefer to watch the videos because we always record them so that if you can't make it, you can watch it later. And then we also have like a community forum that you can use 24/7. It's like your own private social media network that doesn't come with any judgment or ads, right? It's just there. So can you explain sort of like, what is it like to come to a live session in the neighborhood?
Amazing, because it's amazing. I know you, Sarah, and Evie, and we all have education backgrounds.
Mhm.
So the way that you guys have structured it is amazing, because you let us know ahead of time, okay, this is the topic for the month, but for this week, this is our subtopic. And so that longer 1 hour live really gets into like the meat and the potatoes of that particular topic. And we learn about the research, and we learn about for the different parenting styles, how this might, I'm a crescent, so this might be really cool for a crescent to do this way, or it might not. So we might have to kind of, think of some other things that might be a little more effective for you. And then we kind of go away and we digest what we have talked about, learned about, seen, and try to figure out, okay, where does this fit in my family? What can I bring to the next session to kind of workshop? And you always have something. I mean, you're a parent, like you're having to, dodge stuff all the time with your children. So it's very easy. It's not like homework. It's like, so out of the 12 things that I could talk about, what am I going to choose?
I know.
Yeah. And then you workshop it basically with parents that have your strengths, but also your weaknesses. And, we talk about, while the research says this, we might want to, think about this instead for you and your family, and that might work better. And it's just a great place to kind of step out of your own bubble and let other trusted parents that are supportive and non-judgmental offer you, I wouldn't even say advice, but just different angles to approach problems. Because I feel like, advice works, 100% of the time, just not for 100% of the people. So it's much better coming to this community, because it's people who really care about you and eventually really know you, giving you advice from a place that is really, really accepting and wonderful.
Thank you for saying all of that. You are right in that every month is a theme. And this month we're talking about sort of the basics, back to basics of positive parenting, and kind of going through all of that. And we usually do a week on brain science, usually a week on that kind of thing. And then sometimes it's more emotional. Next month, actually, we're going to be focusing on communication, which is going to be really interesting, talking about how to speak to our children, how we need to be spoken to as parents in terms of like our own triggers and our own what we need from our kids, and how we can communicate with different types of children. Some children who are, have anxiety, some children who have, maybe more strong-willed. We're going to talk all about those different types of children and how we all as parents and children can communicate to have a calmer, peaceful time together, because our goal really is twofold. One, we want everybody to enjoy parenting. We want it to be fun. We want to take away the parts of the day that make you go like, oh my God, I can't wait to get to bedtime. I mean, we all have those days, but we'd like to lessen them. But the second thing is, we care so much about you as a person, the parent, that we want the parent to be feeling growth and not feeling they're stuck, while their kids are small, that they're just stuck in this space where they just have to be a mom or a dad and nothing else. I wanted to kind of go back, because you had said, you feel safe, and that's really important to us. Evie and I are best friends. We wanted to create that place of safety and love, because that's who we are for each other. Like even now, we've been friends forever, and we still are on the phone in the morning, sometimes talking about very intimate things with our children, because it's just and that's what we wanted to give to, that's where the neighborhood came from, was this place of just heart. Like, oh my gosh, everybody needs this. Tuesday, we had a very, very intimate session in the neighborhood. Can you share a little bit about how that felt for you? We had a guest speaker, Jace Gibbons, who came in to talk about, because we have guest speakers once a month, guest experts. He came in to talk about anger as parents and how we can be healthy about our anger and what we do when we're triggered. And that session in particular was very intimate and very intense. So can you just talk a little bit about, and they're not all that way. Sometimes they're like laughing and fun, and we get off and we're like, oh my God, that was so fun. And then Tuesday was intense. So can you talk a little bit about your experience on Tuesday?
Yeah, it was, like you said, it was emotional because it was the topic of anger. And anger has so much baggage around it. You're bringing in what you yourself as a parent experienced as a child and how you grew up with dealing with that in your family. And then you are dealing with how are you going to manage that emotion yourself within your now nuclear family. And then how you deal with the way society treats parents, especially as we talked about moms. Mm-hmm. We are supposed to be the 24/7 happy, calm, doing all the things with all the time and all the energy, and not supposed to have these moments of anger, to be honest. And all of us there were just saying, like, I'm so glad we're not alone in these moments, and that we don't have to be ashamed to talk about them in a healthy way. We weren't there shaming, we were there getting information. How can we do better? We're not perfect, and no one there expects you to be perfect. Mm-hmm. And it's just very refreshing and comforting knowing that you can show the side of you that you're not always proud of, but walk away from it knowing that you have support and tools to help work on that.
Yeah, I was so touched at the end of that session. I was like, wow, I just was so impressed with the vulnerability. And as I said, like, some sessions are super funny. Like, we're laughing the whole way through. But this one in particular was a little more intense. And I was extremely impressed with how trusting everyone was of each other. And it was like, I'm going to share something, and someone shared something vulnerable, and then someone else shared something vulnerable. And it was like, wow, like, okay, wow, we're all feeling this way. And then someone else was like, oh my God, that's me, but I would never have said that except that you did. And now I feel good because I'm not alone. It was like, I just felt like it was this moment of solidarity that, okay, we all have young kids and we're all going through this, and it's okay. So yeah, that particular session was, and then people, we have a forum. It's like like kind of like a social media forum, but it's private to the people in the neighborhood, and people were posting afterwards, like, thank you so much. Like, this was so vulnerable. It's so great to feel. And even just reading that, it's like, okay, this is so grateful. And just the people in this group are just so incredible and so amazing, which is why we're so happy to have you here tonight.
Thank you.
But I wanted to talk a little bit about something like a personal change that you've made in your home. So I know you've had some huge epiphanies over the last few months and made some gigantic changes. So can you pick one and kind of tell us, like, what you want to share tonight, like what it was before, what you did, what you learned in the neighborhood, and how things shifted for you?
Sure. So the biggest one I would say is the first real session that I kind of came to, and was talking about commands. Mm-hmm. And you guys, again, did a great job scaffolding, and you're like, pick a time in the day where you feel like you just give commands to the point where you're commanded out. And so for me, it was bedtime. Mm-hmm. And
and how many kids do you have, and how old are they?
I have three. I have a 7-year-old daughter, a 4-year-old daughter, and an almost 2-year-old son.
Okay, so that's a fun bedtime routine right there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, just an hour and a half. Okay. Don't have anything else to do. Right. So we had to like count how many commands you would give in that certain time of the day. So I stopped counting at like over 70 because it was bath night. So that was a whole, get them ready for the bath, get them in the bath, give them all the commands during the bath, get them out of the bath, get them in their jammies, and then get them ready for bed. Like, it was exhausting and stressed me out every night. And then they'd be running in the bedroom because they want to talk to me. And, you know, my 4-year-old is, if the words are, Mom, I have something to tell you, get a snack. You need to get a snack because you're going to be there a while. So it's just like the whole thing. And so I come and I tell this, and Abby, she was like, I'm sorry, how many did you say? I said, yes, I'm a crescent. So I'm like, stand up, sit down, tilt your head back, right? And one of the other moms, and no judgment, but she just was like, we got to fix this. So one of the other moms, she goes, Cara, don't you have a checklist that you use in the morning? And I'm like, yes, I do. And it's amazing. And she's like, why aren't you using that for bedtime? And I was like, I don't know. Let's do it. And you came up with a great suggestion of doing one in the shower. So I wrote the steps out for them, for the 2 girls, because they showered together, of what to do. And then I wrote one on their chalkboard in their bedroom for what to do afterwards. And I was like, okay, we're going to try this because I got nothing, literally got nothing to lose. So I get them into the bathroom, and for the 7-year-old, I said, okay, Fiona, you are in charge. And she's like, I am? Like, give a 7-year-old a little bit of power goes a long way. I said, you need to read this list for your sister, and I'm going to sit here, but that's it. I'm going to sit here, and you're in charge. You help her, you read it out, and you do the things. I just sat there, and you could hear Fiona like, all right, step number 1. What's your hair? And the little one's like, okay, what is what? I'm laughing. I'm smiling. I am saying nothing. It is fabulous. We go into they do their thing. We go into the bedroom, and I just go, checklist. I say nothing. And Fiona picks it right up, reads down the checklist, and it's done. And I walked out. I said, when you are finished, come to the big bedroom. That is where I'll be. And so it has progressed so far in a 180 that Fiona now completely showers alone by herself. I do nothing but turn on the water. The little one, Colleen, and the baby, I bathe them together. But like Fiona or Colleen knows what to do. So I just sit there and kind of focus on the baby. All I have to say is checklist. Like, if they're not doing what they're supposed to do, I just go, checklist, and they just do it. And I keep the door closed to the bedroom. They come down, knock on the door. It's me. The checklist is finished. I'm like, okay, you may come in. It is so amazing. It is amazing. I was like, what voodoo is this? And where do I get more of it? So.
And this has sort of transformed into a self-care routine for you as well, right? Like, you have been able to so one of the things that we really talk about in the neighborhood is self-care for the parent. And I'm, you know, Evie and I both are like, you eating breakfast and taking a shower is not self-care. Like, we need to find things that give you pleasure and happiness during the day. And so, you know, you have been able to, because you have gone from the kids being totally dependent on you for this hour and a half, that now they're not, that you found yourself with some free time, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, throughout the entire day, like in the morning, they're doing their own breakfast because you were like, you can do this, Cara. They can do it themselves. And I'm like, okay, the crescent is letting go. So in the morning, I have time. In the evening, I have time. This makeup did not happen before the neighborhood because I wouldn't have had time to do it. And in the evening, I have a whole skincare routine now that's very ritualistic, and things are calm. And it even extended to Fenton with the sleep week or month. I don't put him down anymore. My husband does.
Woo!
I know.
And that was huge. That was a huge thing. Yeah.
Huge. And you guys were so, when you're ready, you can try this, baby steps. It wasn't like, oh my God, I can't believe you're not doing, it was just wonderful. And you guys let me do it when I was comfortable in my own time. And you're there to cheer when it works. And then you're there to say, it's okay that it didn't work. Like, let's think of something else. So it's like, I can't even I know it sounds fake what I'm saying, but it is true and it is happening. And especially the evening, it's an entirely different experience now.
I mean, it's funny because I asked you to do this at 7 p.m. and I thought to myself, a few months ago, you would have said no. You wouldn't have been able to at 7 p.m. It wouldn't have been a good time. And I thought, well, we'll see what she says. We'll see if and you wrote back right away and you're like, oh yeah, I could totally do 7 p.m. And I was like, okay, wow. So
Yeah.
yeah. And that's what this is about is finding that, like, so Cara keeps saying she's a crescent parent. I'm a crescent parent too. And I'm a military wife, and I've spoken about that before on Instagram where, I've been on my own for a really long time. My husband travels a lot. And so I had to stop being so crescenty. And a crescent parent is a kind of parent who is really involved in every step of the day. It's really hard for them to step back. Other parenting personalities, fireballs, for instance, are actually pretty good at this, but they have some other things that are tough for them. And so I had to teach myself how to step away, how to give them independence. Like, yes, you can make yourself breakfast. It's not the way that I would do it. And sometimes, we have to have reset conversations like, please don't waste an entire bowl of cereal. Like, that's not okay. Or like, no, you're not having a chocolate bar for breakfast. Like I've had to be able to kind of re-steer them, of course. But this idea of when your kids are ready, that sometimes it's hard for us because we're in the middle of it as their parent. It's hard for us to see like, wow, actually, yeah, my kid can shower on their own. Like that actually can happen. I didn't think they could, but they can. And then when they do, you're like, oh my God, what else can they do? And it's good and empowering for the child too, because they feel more independent. They feel more confident. They feel like they can do things without you, which is really good for their confidence and their development as well. So I'm so happy to hear that. And I know Evie is too. Like, we're always so excited when you are like, I tried this and it worked 80% of the way, but I just need to tweak this. And we're like, yay, okay, let's do it. The last question I had for you tonight, I want to talk to you about what the community has meant to you, the other people who are in the neighborhood. And right now we only have women. We'd love to have some dads. Dads are welcome. We have women from all over the world. So what has the community meant to you in the last few months?
I would say, as not just even a parent, but just as a person, it has really saved me because I am extremely COVID cautious. I have a very low risk tolerance. So we are not doing really anything. Like you keep seeing those memes that are like, people who haven't caught any COVID since 2020. I am those memes. So I'm very cautious. And this has become my self-care. It's become my socialization. It has become my support group. It is what I look forward to. It is what I enjoy the most, as far as taking time to better myself. Like I know that I can come in and check in with everybody. I mean, they know what's going on. I know what's going on with them. When I say something, they go, oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Yep. We get that. I don't have to explain myself. I just have to express myself. And that is such a relief, as a parent, that I'm not trying to justify my choices, but I am coming to a place where people can say, hey, you know what? We understand why you're making those choices. Let's see if we can come up with something that's better possibly for you and your family. There's never a moment where I'm feeling judged or that I'm doing something wrong. Just doing something that may not be working. Something that's not working is not necessarily wrong. It just needs to be tweaked and fixed. And
right.
the
sometimes
things that
it
I've
means
done
it's not working for you.
Yes.
It might be working for your kids, but it's not working for you,
Right. And most of the things that we do are very simple, but they're very significant. And I can do that. I can do simple and significant. So I'm all about it.
Awesome. Well, Cara, I want to just thank you so much for coming on Instagram tonight to share about the neighborhood, because it really means so much to me and to Evie, that you're willing to come on and be vulnerable here. We love you, and we just love what you bring to our community, because you are just, I mean, you guys got to know Cara is just, she is just top notch. I've known Cara a really long time, and I'm grateful for your friendship too. So if you're interested in joining the neighborhood, because the doors are closing January 31st, send us a DM and we will get you in so that you can do the last couple weeks of positive parenting tenets with us and then jump into the communication month. We're going to dive deep into communicating with your child to help. And the goal is always to help your day be more fun, your day be more calm, for you to be a person and not just a parent. So, Cara, thank you again. And we will see you all soon. Thank you all for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.